The next thing I want to add is a row with 2 columns. We'll put that right below box 2. In the HTML, let's add a line break after that second div, and let's get to work in creating that row. We'll give it a div with the class row applied to it. And inside this div, we'll put in the first column, and we will give it a class of column1. And for the second column, we'll put that in a div, or we'll make that a div with the class column2 applied to it. Save your HTML, and then go to your style sheet. We'll create the class selector for column1. Let's give it a width of 25% and a height of 100 pixels. I'll give it a background of red, but you can choose whatever color you like. And I'll make this float left. And before I completely forget, let me go ahead and do something for row. Let's give it a border of 12 pixels, solid black. Now for column 2, we'll give it a width of 75%. A height of 100 pixels, and a background of blue, make it different, or whatever color you want to use. And we will make this float left. Save your CSS file, save your HTML, and let's see what we have for our page preview. Right now, this black bar you see here would be the border that we added for row. However, it's not taking up all sides of this row, and I'll get to that in a second. First though, note that 25% of the width is this column 1, and the other 75% is this blue portion. And they are able to be side by side because we gave them the float property. And this will retain the proportions even as my browser window resizes. Now let's go back to this whole issue of the border not going around. Looking more closely at our HTML, we have a div, and then inside this div are 2 more divs that correspond to those 2 columns, and these 2 divs are floated elements. And when an HTML container only has floated elements, your browser considers that as having 0 pixels for its height. And when something has 0 pixels for its height, then this is what you get. To overcome that, then, you need to look for the parent container, in this case, div class equals row, and use this property. Overflow with a value of auto. And when you do that, it will be able to recognize all the content, even floated elements within that container. Again, these two columns in this row will maintain the proportions even as I resize my browser window. This is how it works with percentages. And hopefully at this point, you can start imagining the possibilities when it comes to using percentages. And one of that would be to use it when creating fluid and eventually responsive designs. In the next video, let's add a second row right below this first row.